Welcome to Mind the Major, where I give you just that, my thoughts. And today, my thoughts just happen to be with a family member who recently passed. But not just any family member, family within the family. My actual family as well as Mind the Major family. No other than Vernadette Rogers. For those that actually are familiar with my channel, I want to give you a little insight to actually who Vernadette Rogers was. And just like I put in the title, Vernadette was actually a Baltimore legend. A Baltimore legend. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody. I mean, her name rang out from East Baltimore to West Baltimore. You would have been hard pressed to find somebody in Baltimore if they didn't know who Bernadette Rogers was. They actually heard of her, or some of her antics. I mean, she did it all. She did it all. It wasn't too much that she didn't do. It wasn't too much that she didn't do that she didn't get into in her time here. I mean, from just about anything you could think of. Anything that you could think of that you would see, oh, legends from this place or that place or whatever. She probably did it all. She did just as much as the average guy would have done that would have been considered a legend. I mean, the biggest, the myth is that I've actually heard people tell the story. Oh, she snuck a loaded gun into central booking and had a shootout with the COs. But you know how a story gets told, and every time it's told to the next person, something gets added to the story. But it wasn't too far off. It wasn't too far off. She happened to get booked or the charge or whatever. And Cuz was top heavy. Cuz was real top heavy. So I guess when they was coming in the house or whatever, she called herself hiding the joint. You know? And when they did the initial search, they didn't find it. So when you go to central booking, and you're getting processed and they get ready to do the strip search, they usually have a trash can there, and they tell you, if you got any contraband, put it in this trash can, because if you pass this line and we find the contraband, and you're getting charged for it. So I guess Cuz took the fucking gun. My bad. I guess Cuz took the gun and put it in the trash can. And I can only imagine the expression on those correctional officers' faces. I'm quite sure they was like, oh, hell no, this don't count. This don't count. I mean, I remember the incident. I had heard that she had got arrested, but little did I know that I would go in the house that evening and she would be on the 10 o'clock news. You hear the newscaster say, oh, woman smuggles a loaded handgun into central booking intake facility. But of course, they said her name when they came back, and then they talked about the story. They said her name, and I was like, what in the hell? But those are the type of things that, I mean, the stories that you will hear, I mean, from her doing things that the average guy would have did. Cuz had a kind of rough edge. She was kind of rough around the edges. But she didn't take nothing from nobody. You know what I mean? She didn't take no crap from nobody. I don't care if it was a female or a dude. You would be hard pressed to find a dude that would have actually given cuz a actual fair one. Cause she had actually been known for putting hands on dudes. I mean, actually beating on dudes. You know, I wasn't there, but the incident where she was shot, she got shot in the chest by a dude. And it was talk that she put hands on the dude and I guess hurt his pride, and that's what transpired as a result. So you could take that image and you could tie it all together and pretty much get a picture of who Vernadette was. I didn't have any problem. I didn't have any problem with no trouble out of females, because didn't no females want to see Vernadette. Ain't no females wanting to see cuz. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to do that. But I would have really liked to did this. I'm just doing this as a tribute, you know, to her. But like I say, it's kind of funny, because out of all these things that people most remember her for are not the things that she actually wanted to be remembered for. You know, after she did her last little bit in jail, she came home. And see, the average person that might have had a conversation with her, you know, that's the type of things that they wanted to talk about. You know, the little things that she might have did, or they heard that she did. You know, that's what excited people. You know, people who love drama. But that's not what she wanted to be remembered for. When she came home the last time, she went to school, got her degree, and became a drug counselor. See, every time we had conversations, one-on-one conversations, we didn't talk about those situations that the average person would have wanted to talk to her about. You know, we had genuine, real conversations about what she actually wanted to do, you know, how she wanted to leave her mark. You know, she didn't, when people spoke about her, she didn't want to be spoke of. She didn't want to be remembered for the negative things that she did. She wanted to be remembered in a positive light. And she was doing things to, you know, it's crazy. Just, you know, when a person just starts to do things, turn things around and get focused, and the time run out. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But I know we often spoke about how, the things we did back in our time, how we tore the city up. We tore the city up. And I say it again, I can't say it enough. This is not something that we did intentionally. We had no idea that what we were doing back then would have had the effect that it actually did on this city. We didn't know that we would be affecting so many households. That we would have been actually doing that much damage. We didn't know that we were actually doing that much damage. But like myself, she wanted to do something to try to turn around some of that negativity that she, contributed. She wanted to contribute some good in place of that. And that's how she was going to leave her mark, because one of the city's biggest problems is drug addiction. The drug addiction destroys a lot of households, and a lot of kids get neglected, and these kids are kids that you end up seeing who end up in the streets and doing this, that, and the third, and because they don't have a proper structured household, the proper guidance. She wanted to get people back on track so they could actually get those relationships back with their kids or whatever, whereas though they can be able to actually guide their kids as one should. Because it's hard to look at a child and say, oh, do this, that, and the third, and you are out there chasing narcotics. A lot of times the parents end up getting the narcotics from the child. So it'd be hard for you to say, do this, that, or the third, because in actuality, it's like the child is running things. So she wanted to change that concept and try to, bring back a lot of the people that have been hooked on the drugs, get them back to where they supposed to be at, so they could actually have some type of positive effect on their kids, grandkids, which in turn could have helped the city. Could have helped the murder rate. It could have decreased the murder rate. Could have decreased crime in itself, all around. And she was going to do it. I know if anybody could have did it, and focused and actually did it, it could have been her. Not just the fact that she was a counselor, but she was also Bernadette the counselor. If all else failed, she was still Vernadette. Look, you better stay clean. She could have been telling her clients, you better stay clean, or I'm going to put this foot to you. You know what I mean? Intimidating her clients to stay clean, I mean, the city took a big loss, man. The city took a big loss, as well as the family, man. Because you don't get those type of people, You don't get them type of people every day. You don't come across those type of people every day. You know, and a lot of people didn't actually get to know her, the real Vernadette, the intelligent side, you know, and when she started to display that positivity or whatever, you know, you had people that hated just out of jealousy, and that itself actually bothered her. You know what I mean? And I never seen things really bother her, but that actually bothered her. You know. But like I tell her, you know, our haters are our greatest motivators. You know what I mean? The haters ain't nothing but gas to keep going. You know what I mean? Make them hate more. You know. And Cuz was doing it. Cuz was doing it. But I know people like the negativity and so on and so forth. That's why I led into the story as I did. But I feel as though she is as deserving of a documentary as anybody. That's her story in itself. I mean, I touched on a few things that one would listen to and be like, she actually did that. I didn't go into her adventure, you know what I mean, her time in the jails and prison, you know what I mean, things that happen in jail and prison, and other things that happen in the streets, and this, that, and the third, because I didn't want to mention certain people, you know, in my little tribute. But if y'all really want to know about Vernadette, the actual myth, the legend, the martyr, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, man. Put it in the comments. And I had no problem with tapping in with people that could give y'all better insight on actually who Vernadette was, you know, giving you first-hand account of some of her adventures or misadventures or whatever you might call them. You know, I you know, some things that you just can't, you know, some people man, this is, you know, it's amazing how when you turn things around, when people start turning things around and start doing the right thing, it's like, it's amazing how the time, the clock just stops on them. You know? If ain't nobody deserve more time, she should have had more time, man. Cuz should have had more time. I would have loved to seen her actually start, you know what I mean, getting her numbers up and actually getting people back, making them be, you know what I mean, getting people to stand back up and be productive, you know what I mean. She was starting to do it, but I know she would have, you know what I mean, with the people she knew and the influence she had, you know, she would have been talked about in such a good light, man. She would have did so many good things, man. She would have did so many good things had she had the time, man. But like I say, it's on y'all. I just did this as a tribute because I wanted to put out there, you know what I mean? I didn't want to leave her memory as just, you know, a bunch of negative stuff. I just wanted to let people know, yeah, she did this, but she was also this. This is what she wanted to do. But if y'all want, like I say, if y'all want the full story, in depth, about Vernadette, And trust me, anything I said in here is documented. It's documented. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Like I say, and I try my best to make it happen. I just wanted to tap in. First of all, I wanted to do this for cuz. You know, I just want to play up there, and I appreciate it if my mind, a major family, would show cuz some love, because like I say, she was a member of this Mind a Major family as well. If you go back to one of my earlier videos, and like I say, I call out my subscribers or whatever, you have heard her name mentioned as one of the family members. You know, we lost a real one. We lost a real one. I'm a miss cuz. I'm a miss cuz for real. Show cuz some love, if you will. Be appreciated. You want to see the documentary, in-depth documentary on Vernadette Rogers? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. And I'll try my best to make that happen. But until next time, don't forget, great minds think alike. And there's great in everybody. It could just take, who knows who it might be, to come along and pull that greatness up out of you. So next time, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, share. It's your boy C Major. I'll be back soon. But for right now, I'm out of here.